Hello, welcome to my channel. Today I will be reviewing an African violet called Minstrel's Rowena Elaine. It was hybridized by Follett and registered with the African Violet Society of America in 2006 under the registration number of 9755. This is a standard variety of African violets. It's a very young plant in the middle of its first bloom. The leaves are light green, plain and quilted, and they're somewhat of a, reminding of a heart shape. So each of the leaves, they're not large, so that's I'm imagining it's a very young plant, but I think it's going to be a smaller size standard, and the leaves at the current state are 2 inches long. This is my very first pure white variety, and I really like it for its simplicity and elegance. Here are the blooms up close, and you can see how many blooms it has already, and it's a very young plant. I received it as a just a small starter in spring, just a couple months ago. From a fellow board member, Karen, at my local African Violets Club, Thousand Oaks African Violet Society. The blooms are single and semi-double white pansies. Mostly single for me. I yet have to see the semi-double, but that's the official description. They range, as far as size of the blooms, they range from an inch and a half on average to maybe this large one is about 2 inch in diameter. And then comparison to a dime coin, I always compare them so you can visually see what size the blooms are. So they're larger blooms. I'm really happy about the size of them. It's a prolific bloomer. Each stem has several, like many flower buds, and the flower stems are very tall, and so they're stick tight, and it's pretty. I like it when the stems are so tall, because it elevates the flowers above the rosette, and it creates a visually appealing and very beautiful look. This variety receives the same care as other varieties that I have currently in my African Violet collection. It receives up to 12 hours of daylight using the natural light and the LED supplement. It receives very weak dosage of fertilizer, and I use water weekend system for watering my plants, because that is much easier. It saves me time, and it also lets plants each plant to take as much moisture as each plant individually needs. So that is a huge time saver for me. Yeah, I also wanted to show you, I don't know if you can see the sparkle. They literally, this white, I don't know, they sparkle, and they're just so pretty. And also, they're not really pure white. Some of them have green hint on the back of the petals. Here you can see that's a very young bud, and here as well. You see the green here on the top of these two petals? It's just really pretty. I cannot explain how beautiful this plant is. I'm so grateful to Karen for giving it to me, and I'm going to take very good care of it to make sure it keeps blooming and bringing joy to my life and the life of my loved ones. And so, as far as going back to the care it receives, the temperature is just normal room temperature that I'm trying to maintain in the 70s and 80s. When it gets as high as the 90s and 100s here in Southern California, then we're at the mercy of our air conditioning, which sometimes works and sometimes doesn't. So you need to make sure that your AC is in good shape. And to also add some humidity in the air, I use my humidifier, as you can see over there in the corner. There's humidifier that I got recently, and it's really helpful. I use a cool mist setting in the summer because we're getting into the summer and the hot months where you really try to do anything you can to keep your African violet babies cool and happy. And so I also use a fan sometimes in combination with the humidifier to prevent the powdery mildew from being affecting the plants, because if you don't use a fan, then the humidity in the air can create the environment that is puts your plants at risk of developing powdery mildew. So be careful about humidifiers. You always use a fan. And that's pretty much it about this plant, and it sums it up. And here it is, Minstrel's Rowena Elaine, a pure white beauty in my collection that I'm very, very happy about. So here it is, and I'm very happy that I can share it with you. So thank you very much for watching, and stay tuned for my future African violets reviews.